Brooklyn Independent Television.
In 2003, Lincoln High School boys basketball team dominated the city along with then All-American point guard Sebastian Telfair. Now, the Rail Splitters then went on to win the PSAL City and New York State championships. 7 years ago, also at the same time, Brooklyn Friends boys basketball team won the Independent School City title and C Division state championship. Blue Pride, a film documentary produced by Andy Cohen and Dave Cardella, recaptures their 2003 championship season.
It's just a very unique story, and it's so unique that you'll never see any school in New York City that's a private school be as successful as we were that year. Play the teams that we play through our adversity. And I think it was just a great season to the point where people still talk about it today.
I mean, it was a major accomplishment for any level of sports to win a championship of that magnitude.
Anticipation's in the air, you can feel it. Unbelievable.
If you're a basketball fan, you're a basketball lover, you will love this movie, you know what I mean? Because it's a small school that rose from the bottom, went all the way up to the top. It's definitely a Hoosier story, you know what I mean? You look at a small team, a group of 8, where nobody looked at us. Nobody looked at us.
To tell you the truth, for most of the year, I was quite disappointed. I said we were good, but we lost the 2 teams we should have beaten.
I guess we came so close to being a perfect team the year before that we had so much confidence. And for us losing that game, it was just like a shock to us.
And then something really strange happened. The guys just started getting together and the chemistry started to go. And it wasn't any really my doing, it was the captain's.
And I think after that game, if someone wasn't doing something right, someone would just tell them. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I can't say nothing to him because his ego might be fractured.
They just really had this sort of like mantra every time, have fun, and it became sort of superstitious. Every time we were in the huddle, we say, have fun. And what happened is we knew Kyle was a good player, he's getting no publicity. And except for a few you guys and the Brooklyn Eagle, we were, the publicity for us all is Kyle Neptune. And his stats actually had to drop that year because they were keying on him. And other guys just started to step up and shooting. And every game's a different person. It was amazing. We played Poly Prep. We played them in the collegiate tournament. We lost by 20 points. We played them tough and they just sort of ran away from us. They were really much smoother than they were, and they had Joachim Noah. 1 week later, we played them in the playoffs. We beat them collegiate. We were seeded 5th. We beat collegiate, it was 4th. So we go to Poly, we seeded 1st. And we beat them by 7 at their own place. That's 1 week span. And that's when that team really changed.
Because all of us, we've been playing together since 8th grade. So we knew how hard we needed to work, and we buckled down and got it done.
We were all a close group of friends before that. So basketball just happened to be something that we all had in common. We all had either a love for the game or a tremendous amount of talent to play the game.
We went through a whole lot together. We became men together.
We're gonna win. You're gonna win. You seem very confident about that. I am.
We did beat Joachim Noah, who's now playing for the Chicago Bulls. That's definitely a huge achievement. We were always the underdog, so we played against big programs like Poly Prep and teams that were a little more established, maybe like Packer and Poly, and then other teams when we went up to the tournament, Glens Falls. And coming with only 8 people out of a class that, our classes, graduating classes, maybe had 40 people at the most. So to be able to find that chemistry and that amount of talent in such a small pool is just an amazing thing.
So we went up there with 8 players. At the end of the game, in the final, we had 5 on the court, 3 had fouled out, including Kyle.
The best thing about the championship was that I got fouled out with like 4 or 5 minutes to go in the championship game, and the other guys on the team got it done, And I think we were up maybe about 4 or 5 when I got fouled out, and it took overtime. But at the end of the day, the guys got it done, And I think that just says so much about the team that it wasn't me, it was the team who got it done.
And the thing is, I never expected this,
Sometimes I think his players these days might get a little tired of hearing him talk about it, but it's because it's so important and such a glorious thing. And to do it with those guys who were all, they were really a band of brothers.
Because I said to them, I said, maybe now I can die. I said, not maybe, now I can die in peace.
Many of my college friends and work friends recently will tell you this is probably the highlight of my life. I'm not the most athletically gifted person, but it was a great story. It was a great thing to be a part of, and to be able to share it with people that you're still so very close with is just unbelievable.
So it's not just a story about, oh, a sports team overcame the odds. It's about a group of friends who overcame the odds and really did it in a small community where nobody really thought we could, and we did, and there were times where we didn't think we could. It was, how are we going to do this? But we found ways. There's always that next step. We found a way to win, and a story for life. Do whatever you can, and it might happen.
Brooklyn Independent Television on the BCAT TV network.